much. I am super excited for this session, and I will hang around for all of your questions at the end. But if you are multitasking, come back to me now because we are going to move quickly because we've got some mindset shifts, some things we need to figure out how to do differently, and it's going to be a lot of fun, but I'm going to put you to work in the next hour or so. Thank you so much for your patience, and let's do this. Grab your notepad and let's get going. So here's the first thing I want you to think about. What I'm going to do is I am going to show you why the typical PMO, why the typical situation that you're in now, and the guidance you've been given on measuring and communicating PMO value doesn't work. What to do instead, and how to set your PMO up for success, all without wasting countless hours building big, heavy reports and gathering tons and tons of metrics, or having to sell the value of the PMO, which is a big one. And I will tell you exactly why you don't want to do that in just a moment. So first, let's start with defining the value of the PMO. We need to understand that the business challenges that must be addressed so that you can unlock the best ways for your PMO to provide the most value to the organization. Now, with a lot of these things that you hear from experts about what the PMO should and shouldn't do and how it should function and what should deliver and how it should measure value, a lot of that is coming from the perspective of somebody that is sitting behind their desk as a professor that maybe hasn't done a lot of this in a long time, or is coming from the experience of someone that's maybe done it once or twice and says, great, this is how all PMOs should be done going forward because I did it and I was successful in one organization, in one way, etc. And, I will readily admit that I don't have every answer because I've only been doing it since 1999. And that seems like a long time, but I've worked with a lot of different industries, but there's a lot of things that you don't know until you're in the situation. Now, I'll say that my students and my clients say to me, oh my gosh, it's like you're reading my mind. You totally know what I'm experiencing, and you'll see that throughout this presentation. However, what is most important is for you to learn how to think differently about the role of the PMO and where it can provide value, not from the perspective of a project manager or even a PMO leader or somebody that has an expert in the PMO space. I want you thinking about the PMO and the value it can contribute to the organization from the executive's perspective, from your business leader's perspective, from the people who are writing your check for your salary, the people that have invested in you as a PMO leader or a PMO practitioner, and think about what they are looking for from the PMO, because ultimately they are your customer, right? Now, of course, you may have external customers and stakeholders and people that the PMO serves, but who is the one deciding whether or not the PMO gets funding? That is the person that's going to be looking to make sure that the PMO is providing the value they need it to provide to justify the PMO being there in the first place, okay? So we need to start with thinking about what value are we actually creating for our business leaders, for our stakeholders, for the people whose pain we are trying to solve. All right. And we'll go into this. I'm going to break it down with you from the different perspectives I'd like you to take, the mindset shifts, and then what to actually do to figure out what you should measure, how you should measure it, and how you should talk about it. So remember, stay with me here, take notes. I'm going to go quickly because I really want to make a pivot and a shift in 1 hour, right? And so there's a lot of things that we need to cover to make that shift. But once you're on the other side of this with me, you will be so glad that you spent your time here. Okay, so first, I want you thinking about this from the business perspective. First and foremost, when we think about the PMO, we need to be thinking about it from the role of the executive looking beyond the PMO at what they are trying to accomplish. Because what they are trying to accomplish is delivery of their strategy. And I don't want to hear it if that yeah, but monster crawls up on your shoulder and says, yeah, but we're not a strategic PMO. We're in the IT department. Yeah, but we're not a strategic PMO. We only deal with internal projects. Yeah, but we're not a strategic PMO. We only deal with external projects. Nonsense. All of that is nonsense. You are responsible for helping the organization deliver on their strategy, and that will unfold for you over the next many slides. But for now, I just want you to be in the mind of your business leader and think, okay, as a business leader, what are they looking for? Well, they're looking to deliver on their strategy. But here's the thing, when you do a little research on strategy delivery, some interesting things appear. The data is actually pretty upsetting, unfortunately. Great, we want to deliver on our strategy. However, 60% of organizations don't link their strategy or their budgets to their corporate strategy. Ouch, that's a problem. 67% of HR and IT departments don't link their priorities to the corporate strategy. 75% of middle managers don't have any incentives on their performance linked to corporate strategy. We have so many challenges that we're experiencing. 95% of the typical workforce, this one scared me to death. 95% of the typical workforce doesn't understand what their company's strategy is. 95% of the people in the organization, well, a good chunk of those are probably doing project work, and they don't even understand why they're doing the work they're doing. Anyone see a problem with that? 61% of executives struggle to bridge the gap between strategy formulation and implementation. Okay, hold on to those numbers there for a minute, okay? All right, so then what happens? Somebody says, oh, I know what we can do. Let's build a PMO. That'll solve the problem, right? Okay, great. So we're gonna fix execution. Our strategy's great, our strategy's beautiful. We're not gonna worry about the strategy. We have to just go fix execution. Let's assume for a minute that that's accurate. Okay, great. So PMO to the rescue. We're fixing execution. But then what happens? Let's look at some of the beautiful numbers from the PMO side of the world. Now, I know some of you have seen these, so I'm going to fly through them, and they make us all cry a little bit. So we're not going to spend too much time on them, but I want you to know the real world, the reality that the typical PMOs are experiencing. So what do we have? Third of all projects are successfully completed on time and on budget. Let's start there, okay? Third of projects are successful. 60% of projects met their goals. The rest are considered failures. 40% of projects meet schedule, budget, and quality goals. 68% of stakeholders perceive their PMOs to be bureaucratic. Do you resemble that remark? 48% of teams reported a positive relationship with the PMO. 48% of teams. 50% of PMOs close within 3 years. We've heard that for a long time. That data is actually still about the same. And since 2008, the correlated PMO implementation failure rate is more than 50%. Okay, so what this is telling us is strategy execution is a problem. We've decided to solve that problem by implementing.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.